Welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name's Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy you could be with me. Hope you're having a good day. And just checking my email real quick here, see if anybody sent me $1 million or something. So hasn't happened recently, but yes. All right. Well, you know what? I was thinking today about doing something about because yesterday, before we left, oh, before we start, I just want to show you, the Quran says that Allah is the best of a bunch of things. And so I just want to look at all the things that Allah is the best of, okay? That's in the Quran. Hello, Abla, God bless you. Lord be with you. Thank you. Let's look at all the things that the Quran says Allah is the best of, okay? Okay. هناك الولي لله الحق هو خير ثواب وخير عقبا. Okay, he is the best of rewarders and he's the best of consequences. You know what? I'm interested. Why does it say عقبا? I don't think that's right. I don't think that Yusuf Ali is being honest here. I'm just curious now because he says that means the best of rewards, but doesn't really mean that. It means, if I'm not mistaken, that means the best of punishers. So let me just look at what our friend. Okay, good outcome. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but the word akuba means punishment, and so I'm not sure exactly how it got to that, but that's what it says. So akban. Okay, so he's the best of rewarders, and he's the best of for consequence. I think the Pickthall is better. Akban meaning actually what the best of punishers. You know what? Let me just write it like this: Akuban, because the word Akuban, punishment. Yeah, Akuba means punishment. And so he's the best punisher. He's the best rewarder and the best punisher. I think that's the better. Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious to see if anybody else has caught on to this. Let me just see. Let me just see if Islam Awakened, if anybody there calls it Islam. Okay. Let me see if they have this. It's 1844. Just like a stream. 1844. Oops. See if it says that. See what the English translations say. Okay. Okay, the issue best to give success. Final and okay. Hickthall says best for consequence. But final outcome, requiting, consequence. Okay, Leila Bakhtiar said it as consequence, which kind of gives a negative kind of spin on it. And Kamal Omar says consequence. Muhammad Ghali says consequence. All of those really kind of have a little bit of a sense that it's negative. So he's good in rewarding you, and he's the best one to reward you and the best one to punish you. Okay, I think they're really trying to make him look better. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm not 100% certain. But anyway, it does say that he's the best of rewarders and the best of consequencers. Okay, here's another one. This is 2372. It says Muhammad asked him for payment. He is the best of providers. Huwa khair al-razikin. He's the best of rizik. Rizik means literally means like your income, your wages. He's the best of providing income, providers here, best of providers. Okay, now this one is the same thing. This one 3150. He's the best of helpers. Khair al nasirin, the best of helpers. Okay, this one we all know. Do you call upon Baal and forsake the best of creators? Ahsan al khaliqin. Okay, that means raises a lot of questions like how many creators are there? If he's the best, if he's the best of creators, if he's the best of creators, that means that there has to be other creators that he's, because best means that he's better than someone else. And so, are there more than one creator? Who's the other one? We know in the Quran, Jesus is a creator. According to this verse, it's kind of calling Baal a creator. Not sure. I don't know. But I like what Christian Prince said about this. He says that he's the best of creators, kind of like a kid in school saying, I'm the best student, but he doesn't tell you that he's the only student. And so it's kind of cheating a little bit to say you're the best when you're the only one. So, okay. Khair al-razikin, okay, best of providers again. Here, khair al-ghafirin, the best of forgivers, the best of forgivers. Okay. Okay, now this is okay. All right. So those are things that Allah is the best of. He's the best of all those things, supposedly. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Abla. Yes, exactly. Akban is punishment. He's the best of punishers. He's the best of punishers. He's not just the best of rewarders. He's the best of punishers. Yep, thank you, because I know that akuba means punishment. So how could Akban be, you know, um, also a rewarder? Hello, Rans 2020. God bless you. Hello, Domagoy Radman. Domagoy. Did you guys see what happened in the EU, the European Union? They decided they're going to start deporting the Muslims. So, and that they don't want to have Muslims running their continent anymore. That's pretty huge. It's like, wow, that really happened. Yeah, yeah, we watched it. It was amazing. Yes. In fact, I think I could show you. Oh, let me see if I could show you. Oh, my wife sent it to me. My wife sent it to me. Let me see if I have it on. That's. Let me see. Euro. Oops. Let me see. Opinion Union votes to deport Muslims. Okay. Let me see. Okay, let me just play this for you. This is pretty wild, man. It's like Europe is waking up. Union lawmakers voted in favor of deporting illegal migrants to return hubs. Look, they were clapping. They were so happy. European lawmakers. These are some of the leaders of Europe. They're all.
And it is adopted.
It was adopted with 380 votes compared to like 200 from
So
the vote.
okay, okay, okay,
They're all,
okay.
they're so happy.
We have many votes to go
Probation.
through, guys.
Countries include Denmark, Austria, Greece, Germany, and the Netherlands. Wow.
Let's.
Return hubs will be set up outside of the European Union territory for the deportees. So they're going to deport the illegal migrants to these hubs outside of Europe. This is for the illegal aliens. Migrants whose asylum applications have been rejected are deported to these centers. Those who defy the rules would face harsher penalties, including remand. France and Spain have questioned the effectiveness of the proposal past precedents. Spain, such deportation policies failed to materialize in the UK, Italy. The right becomes the national own policy of the NGO flag precedented sanctions. People's rights based on migration status. Wow. It's amazing to see Europe doing something like this because, Europe has been such a wimp, in this area. Trump should send them ice. They do have ice in Europe, but you know what it stands for? It's the Islamic Council of Europe. The Islamic Council of Europe, that's their ice. So I would hear more about Prophet Charlie Kirk, Prophet Chuck Norris in comparison with the Prophet Muhammad, call them. Yes. So anyway, so those are some things that Allah's the best of. And yeah, so I kind of wanted to look at when Muhammad smiles. We kind of opened this topic yesterday. And let me go ahead and put the invitation in case there are Muslims. If there are any Muslims who are here, you are welcome to come up. Welcome all Muslims. Just like a stream. So, yeah, I just want to look at a couple of hadiths about when Muhammad smiles, because I have this belief that when Muhammad smiled, it meant trouble. It meant trouble. That he didn't smile if there wasn't something wicked going on in the background. Let's look at this right here. We came for Hajj with Muhammad. When we reached the Al-A'raj, Muhammad alighted and we alighted. Aisha sat beside the messenger, and I sat beside my father, Abu Bakr. The equipment and personal effects of Abu Bakr and Muhammad were placed with Abu Bakr's slave on a camel. Abu Bakr was sitting and waiting for his arrival. He arrived and he had no camel with him. He asked, "Where's your camel?" He replied, "I lost it last night." Abu Bakr said, "There was only one camel. Even that you have lost?" he began to beat him while the messenger of Allah was smiling. So Abu Bakr was beating this guy, this slave, and Muhammad was smiling. So strange the things that made Muhammad smile. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and open up the hadith, and we're going to look together for some of the situations that made Muhammad smile. And by the way, I think Muhammad had some gross teeth. I got to be honest. I think his teeth were gross, okay? Because it always talks about his molars. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Well, you know what? His front teeth were broken out. Tooth of happiness. Yo, boy, yeah. At the Battle of Uhud, Utbah Waqas shattered Muhammad's helmet, broke his tooth between the front teeth, between the front teeth and the molars on his lower right jaw, wounded his face, and Ali and Fatima exerted efforts to stop the blood flow. Okay, but a piece of enamel was. Someone says, okay, there's no record who kept his broken piece of tooth. Dan is Sa'adat. The name of his tooth, you guys, his tooth has a name. Muhammad's broken tooth has a name. It's called Dendan Sa'adat. So it's got a first name, a middle name, and a last name. Okay, which is among the sacred relics. In Istanbul. Wow. So a portion. Okay, it is known. It is also unknown whether it is present or not. The teeth of bliss, the teeth of happiness. These are the teeth of happiness. Muhammad's teeth, you guys, that were broken. They are called the teeth of happiness. Happy teeth. Okay, so just so you understand, this isn't your typical dental. Okay, this is how you say dendan is sadat. Okay, and what does that mean? Okay, okay, it's called his broken teeth. Topic. Okay, you guys, this is important. Please don't be making light of this situation. It's not any regular dental issues. Okay, we're not just, they're called the teeth of happiness, the teeth of bliss. Okay, so Muhammad's teeth were broken at the Battle of Uhud. Somebody threw a rock at him and broke his teeth. And apparently they have preserved the tooth in Istanbul, Turkey. It's probably at the Hagia Sophia, because they turned it into a mosque, and so it's called the teeth of happiness, the teeth of bliss. Okay, and but this is the actual name I believe it's the Turkish Dendan Isadat. So that means happy teeth, happy teeth. So if you have happy teeth, maybe you have an understanding. I think medical doctor Zakir Naik has bad teeth because of how he speaks. Maybe Zakir Naik emulate Muhammad, peace be upon. Dude, you're coming up some good stuff tonight, man. I'm also partly delirious, so I'll be laughing at a lot of stuff tonight. So the best of dude, the best of that guy, the best of you. You need to compare yourself with it. There's more than one Allah. That's true. Funny. All right. So anyway, we need to be serious about it. Don't forget, this is the teeth of happiness. The teeth of happiness. There's Muhammad's teeth. All right. So anyway, I'm not even sure how we got here with the because we're talking about his smile when he smiled. Um, all right. So okay, let's go back here. Oh, okay. A Jew came to Muhammad and said, "O Muhammad, Allah will hold the heaven on a finger, and the mountains on a finger, and the trees on a finger, and all creation on a finger. He will say, I am the king." On that, Muhammad smiled till his premolar teeth became visible. These molar teeth of Muhammad. Muhammad. Became visible, and then recited, "No, just estimate that they made of Allah such as do to him." Abdullah added, Allah's apostle smiled at the Jew's statement, expressing wonder and belief in what was said. Okay, here a Jewish rabbi came to Muhammad and said, Allah will hold the heavens on one finger, the earth on one finger, and the trees and the rivers on. You guys, help me here. So Allah will hold the heavens on one finger, the earth on one finger, and the trees and the rivers on one finger. And the rest of creation, what else is there besides the heavens and the earth? And the trees, how come the trees and rivers get their own finger? How come the trees and the rivers get their own finger? Yay. Okay. Okay. Once I was walking with Muhammad. He was wearing Najran bird with thick margin. A Bedouin followed him and pulled his bird so violently that I noticed the side of Muhammad's shoulder affected by the margin of the bird because of the violent pull. The Bedouin said, "O Muhammad, give me some of Allah's wealth which is with you." Allah's apostle turned and looked at him, and smiling, he ordered that he be given something. Probably an apple. Okay. Okay, so okay, this Najran, okay. Najran, you guys, he was wearing Najrani clothes. Najran is the Christians. So this is like Christian. Muslims always try to take Christians' clothes, man. And um, okay. A Bedouin entered the mosque, and Muhammad was sitting there, and the man said, "Oh, Allah, forgive me and Muhammad, and do not forgive anyone else with us." That's not a selfish prayer at all. Oh Allah, forgive me and Muhammad, and do not forgive anyone else with us. The messenger smiled and says, "You have placed restriction on something that is vast." Then the Bedouin turned away, went to a corner, spread his leg, and began to urinate. This thing can't, it has to get to. Who wrote these hadiths? Who wrote these hadiths, man? Oh, oh my goodness. Um, you have placed restriction on something that is so vast. The Bedouin turned around, went to a corner of the mosque, spread his legs, and began to urinate. After he had a better understanding, the Bedouin said, "He got up and came to me, and may my father and mother be ransomed for him. He did not rebuke me nor revile me. He said, 'This mosque is not for urinating in.'" Rather, it is built for the remembrance of Allah and prayer. Then he called for a large vessel of water and poured it on the place where he urinated. Yeah, boy, yay, such glory. My goodness. Mm. Yeah, boy, yay. Okay, let's continue. Um, okay, let's see. So Abdullah, when they depart from Muhammad, then bring Muhammad some food and let him and whoever is with him eat it. Then he said to his companions, if we return to Al Medina, indeed the more honorable will expel the meaner. Okay. I was riding behind the messenger, and I had heard Abdullah bin Ubay, so I informed my uncle, went to tell the messenger, and sent him the message. The messenger accepted what he said and did not believe me. So the uncle came and said, you only wanted the messenger to hate you and the Muslims to say that you lied. He said, I suffered such worry as, okay, he later, I was on the move with the messenger on a journey, and my mind was relieved of worry when the messenger came to me, rubbed my ear, and smiled in my face. I would never be happier than with that as long as I remained. Abu Bakr came to me and said, what did the messenger say? He said, he did not say anything. He only rubbed my ear and smiled in my face. He said, receive the good news. You know what? I think this is something that we need to say here. Muhammad rubbed the guy's ear. Okay. This is another touchy moment. Touchy one. Okay. All right, dude. Okay. Grandton says, why don't you sit down? Okay, let's see. Okay, here's another time. When Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul died, Muhammad was called in order to offer the funeral prayer for him. When he got up to offer the prayer, I jumped towards him and said, oh, Muhammad, do you offer the prayer for Ibn Ubay, although he said so and such a day? I went on mentioning the sayings. Muhammad smiled and says, keep away from me, O Umar. But when I spoke too much to him, he said, I have been given a choice and I have chosen this. And if I knew that if I asked forgiveness from him more than 70 times, he would have given, I would ask for it more times than that. Then Allah's apostle offered the funeral prayer. So Allah's apostle offered the prayer and left, but he did not stay for long. The two verses of Surah Al-Bara'ah were revealed, and never Muhammad pray for anyone that dies in a state of rebellion. Later, I was astonished at my daring to speak like that to Muhammad and his apostle. That Allah and his apostle know best. So he went to Muhammad and said, how can you pray for this guy when, um, he was a rebel? And it says Muhammad smiled at him and said, you know, this seems like one of the more sane situations, but look what Muhammad, he smiled and then he said, keep away from me. Smile five. Smile, keep away from me. Okay. Okay. Allah's okay. Uh, okay. Okay. He rinsed his mouth and nose. He washed his face 3 times, his arms 3 times. He wiped his head and the tops of his feet. Then he smiled and said to his companions, aren't you going to ask me what made me smile? They said, what made you smile? He said, I saw the messenger call for water near this spot, and he did wudu as I have done it. Then he smiled and said, aren't you going to ask me what made me smile? They said, what made you smile, O messenger? He said, if a person calls for water for wudu, then he washes his face, Allah will remove every sin he has committed with his face. Yo, boy, yeah, he committed sins with his face. Muhammad committed a lot of sin, but I didn't. How do you commit a sin with your face? Yo, boy, yeah. Okay. He says, aren't you going to ask me what made me smile? He says, what made you smile, O Messenger? He said, if a person calls for water for wudu is oblation, then he washes his face. Allah will remove from him every sin that he committed with his face. When he washes his arms, the same applies. When he washes his head, the same applies. When he purifies his feet, the same. So everything you wash, you'll be forgiven for whatever sins you committed with that part of your body. Okay. Smile at them. Okay. No one would look except Abu Bakr and Omar. They used to smile. Okay. Uh, okay, here Muhammad is smiling again. So a lady comes and asks him, what caused you to smile, O Muhammad? He said, some of my followers who, in a dream, were presented before me as fighters in Allah's cause on board a ship amidst the sea caused me to smile. They were as kings on thrones or kings on the thrones. Ishaq, the sub-narrator, is not sure which expression he used. Haram said, oh, Allah's apostle, invoke Allah that he makes me one of them. Allah's apostle invoked Allah and slept again, woke up smiling. Once again, Muhammad said, what makes you smile? He says, some of my followers presented as fighters in Allah's cause, repeating the same dream. Haram said, oh, apostle, invoke that he make me one of them. He said, you are among the first ones. It happened that she sailed on the sea during the caliphate of Muawiyah. After she disembarked, she fell down from her riding an animal and died. Yeah, but yeah, I told you, when he smiles, beware. I tell you guys, when he smiles, beware. This lady was smiling, and it says it happened that she smiled on the sea. She sailed on the sea during the caliphate of Muawiyah. After she disembarked, she fell down from her riding animal and died. Dude, beware when he smiles. He smiled 4 times in this hadith, and the woman ends up dying in the end. Yeah, boy, yay! This definitely goes in the smile file. You see, guys, I'm reading this with you. It's not like I know this. I'm just reading it with you, but I'm just expecting if he smiles, something bad's gonna happen. And he smiled at some really bad stuff. Smile file. Two. Okay, so this poor lady died. Look at Ibn Jaz says, I have never seen anyone who smiled more than the messenger. Because of all the stuff he did. Allah's apostle used to kiss some of his wives while he was fasting, and then she smiled. Aisha said, what? Aisha said, Allah's apostle used to kiss some of his wives while he was fasting. Was he allowed to do that? Was he allowed to do that? I heard you're not supposed to do that. I never saw the Prophet laughing to the extent that one could see his palate, but he always used to smile only. Okay. The messenger of Allah smiled. Then he sat where he was until he prayed Zuhr. And he did not speak until he prayed Isha. Then he got up and went to his family. The people said, why don't you ask the messenger what is the matter? He did something today that he never did before. So they asked him, yes, I was shown what is to come in this world and the hereafter. The earlier and later generations were gathered into one place, and the people got terrified because of that. They went to Adam when the sweat was about to reach their mouths and says, oh, Adam, son of mankind, father of mankind, Intercede for us. Okay, this is the one where he's interceding. Everybody's looking for someone to intercede for them. That made Muhammad smile. Speak to you and you will be heard. Intercede, and your intercession will be accepted. He started to fall down in prostration again, but Jibreel will take hold of his upper arms, and Allah will inspire him to offer supplication such as no human being was ever inspired with. He said, Lord, you created me as the leaders of the son, as a leader of the sons of Adam, and no boast. The first one for whom the earth is split on the day of resurrection. This is from Muhammad, and no boast. There will come to my cistern more people than there can be Sana and Allah, between Sana and Allah, Ilat. Then will be called the Sadiq. Call the Sadiq. Sadiq means the honest one. Then it will be called the prophets. Oh, but yeah, this is too small. That is why I was smiling at the time informing. So he got this dream. No, except that I instructed my sons, when I die, burn me with fire, grind me until I'm like coal powder. Then take me to the sea and scatter me in the wind. For Allah, the Lord of the world, will never be able to punish me. Yeah, but yeah. Okay. So immoderately that she could see. Aisha said she never saw the messenger laughing so immoderately that she could see his uvula. That's, I think, his tonsils. For he used to smile, uh, except that he smiled. Okay. So, okay. Ali smiled. No, I haven't said anything about. I woke up. I said, "Oh, messenger, may my father, what made you smile?" He said, "I saw some of my ummah riding on the sea like kings on a throne." Okay. Watch this, you guys. This is beautiful here. Oh, messenger, what made may my father and mother be ransomed? What made you smile? He said, I saw some of the people of my ummah riding on the sea like kings on thrones. I said, pray to Allah to make me one of them. He said, you will be one of them. Then he slept again and woke up smiling. I asked the same. He said, pray to Allah to make me one of them. He said, you will be one of the first. Then Ubaidah, that woman, married, this guy married her, and he traveled by sea, and she traveled with him. But when she came ashore, a mule was brought to her. She mounted it, it threw her off and broke her neck. You guys, I told you when Muhammad smiles, it's bad news. This lady, she begged Muhammad to make her one of the heroes. He ends up riding a donkey that kicks her off and she dies. Smile file 3. Okay. She fell down and broke her neck. Oh, no. With a smiling face. Okay. Whereupon, okay, Muhammad besieged Ta'if and could not conquer its people. He said, we will return to Medina. That distressed the companions, and Muhammad said, shall we go away without conquering the people of Ta'if? Once the Prophet said, let us return. Then the Prophet said to them, fight tomorrow. So they fought, and many of them got wounded. And Muhammad said, we will return to Medina tomorrow, if Allah wills. That delighted them. Then Muhammad smiled, okay, when they were defeated, okay, and refused to admit me since I embraced Islam. Whenever he saw me, he would smile. Okay. All right. Smiling. Okay. He's thrown off the day of Khaybar. Okay, this is a big, very important here. It says the bag of fat was thrown on the day of Khaybar, and I caught it and said, I will not give anything of this to anyone. I turned around and saw the Prophet of Allah there smiling. This used to be, they used to like to eat the fat, like a bag of fat. Yo, boy, yeah. Okay. The messenger's legs. were slender. His laughter was no more than a smile. When I looked at him, I thought, there is collyrium in his eyes, but there was not. Yo, but yeah. Look at me, but with a smile. Okay. Said, why are you smiling, Amir al-Mu'mineen? Okay. Okay. Well, there's other instances where Muhammad smiled. The messenger of Allah smiled. Remember when the woman came to him and says, and he said, breastfeed him? Okay. Okay, right here. It says, Sahla bint Suhail came to Muhammad, said, O Messenger of Allah, I see signs of displeasure on Abu Hudayfa when Salim enters upon me. The Prophet said, breastfeed him. She said, how can I breastfeed him? He's a grown man. The Messenger of Allah smiled. He said, I know he's a grown man. She knew that. So, tell you, whenever he smiles, beware. Sent me a video. Oh. Mm. Oh yeah, this is funny. I saw this. Let me see if I could play this. This is funny. See you smile. Facebook. Oops. This is it's funny, but it's very scary too, very sad. Let me see if I can show this to you. Um, okay. I don't think this is real, but I'm not sure.
They say convert, pay up or die, and they look you in the eye, knowing you believe the lie, that inclusion was everybody's friend. When the truth now we all know, that was the beginning of the end. You didn't fight back, you failed to resist, and now the country is under their fist. No sun, no fun, no sky. All the music now must die. No more thinking thoughts, Sharia council, schools and courts. Welcome to Britain under the brand new caliphate. You're no longer free. Cover your face, your hair, your feet. You're now enslaved in a British caliphate. Don't you love the British caliphate? Have one wife, 3 or 4. When they're knocking on your door, asking if you're reciting the Quran, telling you you're gay and stoning you today. No matter if you're a woman or a man, you didn't say no, you failed, so it seems. And now you are under the Islamic regime. No laugh, no dance, no art. Kill animals through their heart. No more thinking thoughts. Sharia council, schools, and courts. Welcome to Britain under the brand new caliphate. You're no longer free. Cover your face, your hair, your feet. You're now enslaved in a British caliphate. Don't you love the British caliphate? They steal your daughter for their wife and imprison her for life, saying she's old enough at 9. They will exterminate your dog, a scorpion to your frog. Don't complain, just keep saying you are fine. It's far too late, you're way out of time. About 10 years ago, that was the line. No Christian or infidel. The whole place feels like hell. No more thinking thoughts. Sharia council, schools, and courts. Welcome to Britain under the brand new caliphate. You're no longer free. Cover your face, your hair, your feet. You're now enslaved in a British caliphate. Don't you love the British caliphate? Hey, from the cities to the town, all the people wear a frown as they hear the horrendous call to prayer. Getting elected into power every minute, every hour. By next week, a Muslim will be your mayor. No more thinking thoughts, Sharia council, schools, and courts. Welcome to Britain under the brand new caliphate. You're no longer free. Cover your face, your hair, your feet. You're now enslaved in a British caliphate. Don't you love the British caliphate?
Wouldn't mind if they give out flying carpets. Yes. When you make comparison, everybody, everyone with it. Yeah, I tell you what, man, it's like that call to prayer thing, man. That makes me like. I remember when I lived in Gaza, man. I'd have one mosque on this side of the house, one on over there, another one there. It would start at 4:30 in the morning, and it was, dude, I'd have to play something, some music or something to just not listen to that, man. And they're doing it already in Michigan, New York City. So yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I just wanted to do kind of a funny little thing about Mohammed smiling. So just beware when he smiles. I know it's scary because you can see his molars. You know, there's also this. Let me check. Well, this is creepy, but it says when the messenger arrived after the expedition of Tabuk or Khaybar. Wow, really? The draft raised an end of the curtain which was hung in front of the storeroom, revealing some dolls which belonged to her. Aisha said this. He asked, "What is this?" She replied, "My dolls." Among them he saw a horse with wings made of rags, and asked, "What is this I see among them?" She replied, "A horse." He asked, "What is this it has on it?" She replied, "Two wings." He asked, "A horse with two wings?" She replied, "Have you not heard that Solomon had a horse with wings?" She replied, thereupon the messenger laughed so heartily that you could see his molar teeth. Yo, but yay, how beautiful. So, yes, his molar teeth, his beautiful molar teeth. So, yep, that's true. He's not smiling anymore. You know, I really think that when he asked for a paper and a pencil before he died, that he wanted to admit that Satan had come to him and that he was repenting and he's going to give his life to the Lord Jesus. I don't think so, though, because he said too many evil things before he died to have had an experience like that. So, all right, you guys. Well, thank you for being here. And if you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.